Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're plugging into this call right around the world. I'd like to welcome everyone to our Saturday morning Real Talk. For those of you I haven't had the privilege of meeting, my name's Wayne Levy and I'm coming into you live from a magnificent, foggy Melbourne, Australia. It's so foggy I can't even see Lee and his gorgeous wife, Amy, across the peninsula. They've got fog covering us right across the whole west. No fog where you are? No fog? You don't have fog? No fog, no fog. Blue skies. It must be in your attitude. It's unbelievable. I went for a walk across the Caulfield Park this morning and I bumped into 6 trees. It was unbelievable. Boom, 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 boom. Couldn't see where I was going. And I'd like to welcome Kim Bromer over where the real stuff happens, the mining capital of Australia, Perth, Western Australia, where they have more bauxite, aluminium, and uranium happening. Kim, how are you, my friend?
Unbelievable, feeling fantastic, looking great, and getting younger and younger.
Mate, you are just aging backwards. A bottle of red wine. Your new nickname for us all is Grange. We are now going to call you Grange, okay? Just a Grange Hermitage. We'll just put you on the rack there and you'll just get more priceless the older you get. Welcome everyone in Malaysia, Sydney, and across the planet. DW driving with your new set of glasses. Great to see you there. Lovely to have you. Make sure you keep your eyes on the road and take some notes. Kim, as usual, I have thought about this for about 27 seconds. So I'm going to be leaning on you for some ultimate support as we go into our real talk this morning. This is an integral part of our business building flow system where we work on mindset. We get a little bit vulnerable. We get a little bit up close and personal. But the exciting thing is that we go around the grounds. Get pen and paper ready and get ready to unmute yourself. I'm going to go to Lee and Amy first. Lee and Amy, if you can unmute yourselves, tell us how the week that was. How's Bubs?
Bubs is good. It's currently
Snoozing
on the monitor there. I don't know if you can see because I've got my blur on, but there you go. That's his head.
Oh, look at that. Fantastic.
So it's been a great week. Yeah, just getting into healthy living this week was a fun experience. Getting started, we've got momentum starting to build with our business. Obviously, I'm 4 months postpartum, so I'm getting more capacity each and every day.
Let's talk about that for 1 second, because there's a lot of people who are in our community and probably a lot of people who are going to join the community down the track. You know, as young parents, you know, juggling everything in life, you know, getting your way around a new baby at home, you know, up and down and the crying and maybe on and off the boob and life's all over the place and all that kind of jazz. How is this opportunity just generally fitting into your life?
Well, we're very lucky that our real story, we built our business started 10 years ago. So the work we did in the first 3 years of our business, we are very blessed that we're experiencing that feeling of the royalty income that's allowing us to have some space, which is amazing. That's what it was for us. But in terms of picking up momentum now through this time, the biggest shift that was for me, I used to be very attached to my calendar where I wanted to get something done at a set time, at a set moment of the day. And I was very fixed to, this is when I'm going to do this. This is when I'm going to call this person. And the only thing that's really changed is that instead of being so controlled of when I'm going to do something, it's now more about the priorities getting done in the pockets of my day. So I just don't put too much pressure on myself to say, this is going to happen at 9 a.m. but it will happen on this day. So I still talk to my prospects or I still talk to my team members, but I'll get it done when that window opens in the chaos, if that makes sense. So I'm more prioritized versus controlled and fixed in like my schedule for now.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And I think there's very few opportunities to have the kind of income that you've got, particularly on a royalty basis, where, you know, you can have that flexibility to do what you want to do when you want to do. And, you know, when we talk about, and I do want to cover this later on, you know, the rocks, pebbles and sands priority in your life. Having a young family and being involved with Herbalife and having a business system behind you that allows you to build the business, we can't take it for granted. You know, it's just unbelievable. And I recall I said to my wife, I said, you know what, we're not going to start kids until we're millionaire team. For me, it was just millionaire team. I said, we'll start our family at millionaire team. And I've got to tell you, I didn't quite get to millionaire team. And I said, you know, I think we better start the family. Then I got to millionaire team. And then I said to myself, you know, these kids are going to grow up and they're going to have to go to private schools and they're going to want cars. And I said, one day I'm going to, as a father, I'm going to have to buy them a house. I said, millionaire team ain't going to cut it. I said, you know, I think I got to get the president's team. And that's the whole, you know, journey that we're on, the exercise of it all. I know, Kim, you know, now being a grandfather, you're talking about your legacy. I mean, you know, I know it's 50K. That's, you know, to give your, you know, kids and grandkid, you know, or everything that they want now. So it's amazing that we've got that. But I do want to write this down in our notes. I do want to start our notes. I'm going to go to Kim in a minute. He's going to help me put some meat on the bones here. I want you to write down a question. What is rich? What is rich? Question mark. What does rich mean to you? I want you just take a second here. If you've got pen and paper, just write down what is rich. The feeling of being rich. What is rich? How do you define yourself as being rich? So write down 2 lines. I am rich when I've got, or I'm rich because I've got, whatever it is, 2 lines. Now, underneath that, I want you to write down, what is poor? And then I want you to write, where are you? If poor, your definition of poor is something, and if your definition of rich is something, you want to write down, where am I in my definitions of being rich in my life or poor in my life? Where do I sit? Bit of real talk going on here. Am I poor? Am I rich? I think it's really interesting to define, though, what is rich. And I'm not going to embarrass anyone, but it's really interesting when we look at the definition of rich. I'm going to go to you, Katie. Katie, what is rich to you? What is feeling, you know, I am rich? You know, what is rich, meaning rich to you?
Hi, Wayne. Feeling rich to me, or what is rich to me, means freedom. I wrote down designing my own life on my own terms, and having choose, not have tos. So not so much being able to buy things. Definitely, I think that's part of it as well, monetary as well. But I think more for me, it's freedom and being able to do what I want.
All right. And let's go to the next question. Where is poor to you?
Not being able to do what I want. And not so much not being able to buy what I want, but I guess being able to have the flexibility to say, I really want an infrared sauna, and I know they're about $3 to $5 grand, and I want to be able to say that I could just go buy it today without thinking about, I have to save for that item, plus pay my bills at the same time.
And last question, where are you between those 2 definitions?
I would say that I'm able to get by. I definitely have money at the end of the month for myself, only because I budget, but I guess I have a very tight budget. So it would be nice to be able to have that little bit more flexibility. So I wouldn't say I was poor, but I would definitely say that I'm maybe a quarter of the way up the scale between rich and poor.
Okay, beautiful. Again, this is not a judgmental call. This is just a bit of a reality check for us all. And, you know, being the community that we are, everyone's here to help everyone. And we're going to go around the grounds and just get some ideas on how we can make a shift. I'm going to go to DW. I know you're driving, DW. Unmute yourself. Your definition of rich?
So my definition of rich would be peace of mind and debt-free.
Debt-free, peace of mind. Definition of poor?
Debt up to my ears and being restricted by a 9-to-5 job.
And where do you think you are now on that scale between both of them?
Definitely at the poor scale right now.
Right. Kim Bromer, over to you, my friend. Definition of being rich.
Pretty much the same as Katie's, really. It's to have no have tos, only have choose tos. We all want a little bit more. Doesn't matter where you're at, what income you're earning. There's that looks a little bit more. Oh, that looks a little bit nice. So that you have those choose tos to be able to have the freedom to be able to make that, to do that, and that's what's so exciting about this business is, okay, if you want to, if you want more, just got to get another one of those. That's all, and just go get another one.
Definition of being poor in your mind?
Having all the have tos, I have to do this, I have to do that, not being just to get by, and to poor is really having to look at the prices, having a look at filling up your car and going, oh, maybe I need to put it half in, so you've got these have tos around your life, especially with time.
All right. Interestingly, it's really interesting, guys. And I know I can go to Lee and Amy, and I can probably go to Bessie and Karen, and we're all going to find a common denominator. Being rich is being free, being able to not look at the left-hand side of the menu, look at the right hand, go to the left-hand side of the plane, not the right-hand side of the plane. Do all the things that having a lot of money provides, is perhaps a definition in a lot of people's minds of being rich. I want to give you a different definition here, and I want you to write it down. I don't think there is a definition between rich and poor. I think there's a definition in mindset. Okay? I've seen some really rich people, really materialistically rich, that are so poor in their brains that no matter what they've got, they're just never satisfied. So I think if we look at the definition of being rich, it doesn't necessarily mean sitting in a 10, 15, $20 million house or $50 million house and having the cars in the garage. I look at rich as mindset. I've seen some incredibly poor people, and I've recently, as you know, come back from India, and they're incredibly poor. But they're the happiest people I've seen in my entire lives. They have no value between what is material and what is not material. It's their minds that where their happiness or their lack of happiness resides. Does this make sense to you all? So I want you to just put down in your notes, do I have a rich mindset or do I have a poor mindset? And where am I now? Do I have a case of a futuristic achievement for everything that I want in my life, in my mind, my subconscious mind, in my mindset? Or do I have those elements of doubt, doom and gloom, self-sabotaging myself, thinking, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough? And that keeps me at a plateau where I'm a little bit dissatisfied. Real talk for me is 100% about your mind. Levi, welcome to the call, my friend. This is your very first live Real Talk. Yay, I am a champion. Fantastic. Get back to bed. You're rotten kid. You're meant to be sleeping now. God, mummy and daddy need to. So mindset is everything. So my question is to us all, and I'm going to go around the grounds. Where is my mind? I'm going to go, I know you're talking, Katie, so I'm going to go to you, Daniel. Daniel, mindset on rich versus poor. Where do you think your mind is at the vast majority of the day? Survival mode or thrive mode? All right, you have to think about it. That's enough. Let's go around the grounds here. Lee and Amy, where is your mindset every minute of the day? Is it in thrive or is it in survive?
I would say I go between the two based on what's happening.
Yeah.
But my innermost dominating thought is we are President's team and we're free.
Right. And is that subconsciously said how many times during the day?
I don't keep count, but it's definitely dominating.
Fantastic. Ames?
I would say this is where I need the most personal work, is conditioning the rich mindset, and not falling mentally into the traps of the negative thoughts and the doubts and the fears and the I'm stressed now, all of that. So this is where I need the most work, if I'm being completely honest. Excuse yourself, Leroy. You just
That's perfect. And I think that's true. And let's go back to you, DW. I didn't want to cut you off, but the pregnant
No,
pause
no,
just
of course.
gave me the feeling that you were just hovering between not that positive
Yeah.
mindset.
You know what? Right now, I feel that my mindset is somewhat fluid. I'm trying to be as just present as possible, just to take everything in. But I'm definitely leaning now towards, Pres team mindset. Pres team mindset. It's always on my mind now, whatever I do. And I'm trying to sort of attach value to things from a Pres team mindset. Even though I'm only at supervisor level, but now I'm sort of very much like, right, okay, Pres team. I'm an investor. I'm not a spender. I need to do more mindfulness because it's just who I am. I need to get up really early because it's just what Pres team members do. So everything now is just defined by, imagining that I'm already in the place that I want to be. And as a result of that, I've become a lot more grateful for what I have right now.
Okay.
That's,
I love the transition. Let me go to Katie. Katie, let's talk about that mindset again between, that their lack, living in lack versus living in abundance.
I find the most, Wayne, that I live in lack is when I come out of my job each day. Whereas when I'm at home and I'm working on my business, I mean, not that I work on my business every hour, but at the same time, like if I feel like I'm around negative people or getting sucked into that hole, that's when I feel like I go down. And then it does reflect on when I come home.
And I think, guys, I'm going to go to Kim here. Maybe Kim, just keep your thinking cap on for a minute. What I'm hearing is where I'm going to say 97% of where the world is at, maybe 98% of the world is at this mindset of I'm not where I want to be. I'm thinking sometimes of how I'm where I want to get to, but right now I'm so trapped. I'm so stuck. I'm so spinning my wheels on the runway, just getting through the day, and getting pockets of inspiration to say, no, I can get out of this rut that I'm in. Okay, so it's really important to understand that in the recruiting mode that we're all in, we can project a positive image about the future. But 97% of the people who are going to say things to impress you and hide behind their ego are trapped. They're stuck. Okay. And, for people to go through that culture change and for people to make a quantum leap to go that next level, for most people is monumental. Okay. And it takes time and it takes a bit of patience. Kim, just help me out here on that 97% for a minute.
Look, everybody's that way inclined, and it's in our DNA. It's part of our DNA as a human being because, if you go back to our ancestors, we had to have this because we couldn't go up to a saber-toothed tiger and go, nice kitty, it would eat you, so we had this fear of, fear and protection. So as soon as we wake up, that's the first thing in our DNA and our mind comes up. For me, I set myself up and I choose to. I've got certain things that get me in the right mindset. When I first get up in the morning, I go to walk up down my corridor. I have two Ikebana paintings on my wall in the hall that I go past, and one's it's a plant that talks about motion, and the other one is gratitude. So straight away, I think of Jim Rohn's quote, give thanks of what you have in pursuit of what you want. So straight away, my mind goes into giving thanks. I then go and open the blinds and I look at the day and I go, thank you, I'm alive. Like I got up this morning and I'm alive. And hey, at my mature age, there are some creaky things that happen in the body and you got to do some stretching and you go, yes, thank you. Oh, I love this pain. Thank you. Have a cup of tea. And I've got to work on myself. Seriously, I got to read some positive things. I'm going through some stuff now, how to handle procrastination. And so I'm working on myself. That's my first thing.
Yeah, I get you. I'm hearing you all. And, hey, believe you me, I'm not sitting here as any guru thinking it's any different for Wayne Levy. The reality is we all go through, it's how we deal with it and how we handle it and how we recognize the yin and the yang in our life in saying, okay, and make sure that Larry 1, Larry 2, and just progress to say, go away, snap. I'm out of that. Right now I'm back into this and snap. I'm out of that and I'm into this. Here's a great quote to write down, guys. And I want you to write this down. This is not a Wayne Levy quote. This is a Buddha quote. And I often say this to people when I'm mentoring them in our business. I don't really care what you do. I care what you haven't done. Buddha says it a different way. He says, I never see what has been done. I see what remains to be done. I never see what has been done. I see what remains to be done. And I think that's an important part of our, trying to get to where we want to go. And like Kim said, we can be grateful for what we have done, but we also have to sit in a space where what remains to be done is what I call unfinished business. Okay, it's unfinished business. It's tick off. It's like, hey, these are my goals. These are my dreams. This is the process that I'm on to tick this off. It remains to be done. And I think always moving forward in life, there's many things that remain to be done. But let's talk about what's really, really important here. We've got our rich mindset. We've got our poor mindset. We know that we've got unfinished business. We know that we have a DNA, like Kim says, that keeps us in survival mode because, historically, that's the way humans were built. We run the emotions and we think negative, we think doom and gloom, we think survival. But there is a way to break free, I think. Okay. And it comes back to me, and I always look at the glass and I always think in my mind those rocks, pebbles, and sand. And I think a lot of people, if they want to fill their glass, it's so important to find, I think, 5 rocks to put in your glass first. You cannot fill your glass with sand because you won't get the important things done, which are the rocks that are in your life. Okay, so we look at our glass and we say, okay, I'm busy getting through the day, and you're procrastinating and you're doing mundane things, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'll unpack the dishwasher now, or I'll just I'll mow the lawn now, or oh yeah, I've got to do that now, and I've got to do that, and you move away from the important have-to things in your life that ultimately make the big difference, which I call your rocks. So, as a mental note, guys, just write down this. What are your 5 rocks? Well, it's a physical note. Write down what are the 5 most important things that you have to do every single day. And by the way, this can include your personal development. Doesn't have to be a business building activity. For me, yes, there are some business building activities, but there are other things that gee whiz, if I don't do certain things during the day, I feel like the rocks are not in my glass. Okay, and there's too much sand going in there. So let's go and talk a little bit about some of the rocks, and let's see if we can find some common denominators amongst us all. I might go to you, Aaron, first. Just give us your top 2 rocks. 2 things that you have to do every single day that float your boat, that make Greshla. 2 things.
Run and meditation.
Run and meditation. So a little bit of exercise and definite meditation. Let's go back up to you, Katie. 2 things.
Visualizing my goal, like my main goal that I'm working to achieve, and running as well too.
So these are 2 non-negotiables. So you have to run every day.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Let's talk
yes,
around.
the first
Let's
one.
get our priorities right. I know these. See, the run is I may want to run every day. That could be a pebble, or it could be a little bit of sand. But I'm now talking about no. These are do or die rocks. These 5 rocks have to be part of what makes KC KC.
Oh,
And
I
now,
have to have my tea aloe shake. That's definitely.
all right, so that could be a rock. You could be, have to be on your products every single day. Number 1, number 2.
Well, I meditate before bed every night. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
a
Important
non-negotiable.
rock. Now I love it. Okay, Karen, can we go to you? A couple of rocks.
Nutrition and read.
You got to read every single day. If you don't read, yeah,
Not good. I've got to feed the mind, feed the body first.
love it. Okay, and Daniel, over to you, my friend. Couple of rocks.
Exercise and pray.
Exercise and pray. Okay, Kim, couple of rocks.
My personal development, my first thing in the morning and my stretching and all that regime, and reaching out. I mean, and I haven't been good at that, but that's something that a rock that I've
No, that's a
chosen.
rock. That's a rock that you want to do, that you have to do. And I know it's a priority, but it's not quite a rock at the moment, is it?
No, it's not. It's one of those rocks that I'm sort of working on. My procrastination gets in the way.
We'll get to that point in a minute. But so what are the 2 rocks that you have to do? Not that you have to do, that you're currently doing in your glass every day.
Oh, look, yes, it's the products, first thing. Yeah. Personal development in the rocks. And in the rocks. Personal development and products.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Lee, Amy, I mean, let's go to you. A couple of the most important rocks.
Top 2, one would be the self-care rituals, which encompass the reading, the stretching, the moving, all of that in one. And then the second is prospecting and advancing our business. They're the 2 most important things. And then the third one I've got there is also obviously my family too. So caring for Levi, as you said, 5. So there's more. Don't worry, we don't really
I just wanted to dump down at the top 2. So if there's a day that doesn't go by, let me get this clear in my mind. I get the personal rituals, guys. I get that. We've all got to move and groove, and for whatever reason, one is for the endorphins, the other one's to get rid of the cobwebs. One's to make sure that we have our 3 liters of water a day, shake, aloe tea, whatever it is. I get that. And that's a really important one. The only one who genuinely, in the conversation that we've had, that is business building mode would be Lee and Amy. If that rock of prospecting is a genuine rock in your glass, so there's not a day that doesn't go by where you're not, getting a new name and number.
Well, the outcomes are the variables. So there will be days where we maybe aren't achieving the outcome, but the mindset and the intention and the effort is there, like the attitude is there, that is what we're focused on every single day. Like we don't wake up a day and we're not thinking about how are we moving our business forward today. That is hands on heart. Exactly. Our head is there. But like you said, the outcomes, absolutely not saying that we get the outcome every day. And at the end, the head is definitely on that. I can confidently say that.
At the end of each day, we actually both sit there and say, what did we accomplish today to move the business forward? And then we just sort of create the list, and it might be 4 things or it might be 10 things, but we're always, ticking and moving stuff forward.
And there's days where that doesn't happen at all. But you're aware of it and you're like you have the experience of, we didn't do it. And that's the reality.
So let me just dumb this down. Let's get real here for a minute. Is there a day when you don't stretch? Is there a day when you don't take your products? Is there a day when you don't take your shake, aloe, or tea? Is there a day when you don't read? I mean, these things are rocks for us. And there are days, I'm telling you, for us all, where we don't miss that stuff. Okay? We just don't miss it. I mean, for us, it's like our heart's beating, we're taking breath, we're taking our products. These, to me, and again, they're important rocks, but let me tell you what they are. They're innate habits and they're now pebbles. I don't want anyone on this call, not my leadership group, to rest on the fact that these are important to you. Yes, they're important to you, but they're not a priority for us all right now. They're important, but they're not a priority. Yes, we do it. And guess what? We do it because it's easy to do. Okay. It's easy for us to take the products. It's easy for us to read a book. It's easy for us to visualize at night. Why not? You know, you're about to go to bed. You're lying there. You're going to visualize. Why wouldn't you visualize? What else are you going to do? Turn on Netflix? No, I'm going to spend 15 minutes thinking about where I want to be, how I'm going to get there. I'm thinking about stuff. And that's easy to do. And again, I want to be a little bit harder. What is also easy to do, and I want you to write this down, is to get 3 names and numbers a day. And that's easy to do. Without thinking about, without having the intention, it's an actual easy thing to do. I'm going to go and get 3 numbers today. And I guarantee you, if I said to you all right now, it's 10:30 a.m. here in Melbourne, it's 8:30 a.m. in Perth, Western Australia. By 11:30, if you don't have 3 numbers, your left toe is going to fall off. I guarantee you, within the hour, I promise you, you'd have 3 numbers. Am I wrong? Now, let's say 20 minutes go by and you go, oh, well, that's, you know, it's only 3 numbers, it's only words. But you get a little tingling sensation and you go, hang on, I'm feeling a bit, my toes feels a little bit different. And then half an hour goes by and you go, hang on, it's my big toe's starting to vibrate. 45 minutes goes by and you think, hang on, my socks disappeared, maybe my toe's next. And you've got 15 minutes to go to get 3 numbers. I'm telling you what you're going to do. You're going to knock on your next door neighbor's door and you're going to say, hey, listen, if I don't get your name and number, my toe's going to disappear. You'll get the number. And it comes back to the why is so strong that you're going to do it. Does this make sense? And I think for us to make a shift in our business, we can't move away from the excitement / desperation / inspiration to make sure that the basics of our business is done for an extended, consistent period of time. Not I'm thinking about it, not I know I should do it, not I'm manifesting on what needs to happen. I'm talking about some hardcore, raw action about saying 3, 5, or 10 people a day. Not sitting down at the end of the day saying, well, we thought about it. No, these are the 3 numbers. We've got Mary, Bill, and Bob, and Mary does this, and Bob does that, and Fred does this, and we've got to follow them up. And, you know, they've got some samples, and they're on the products now, and we're going to move them through into HOM. If we have that attitude, I'm telling you, it will become a habit and it will become a pebble. At the moment, most of the things that are important to us are just some of the things that we just know we should do in terms of a commercial development. Like Kim Bromus trying to waffle his way around it here, and I'm picking on Kim saying, yeah, it's one of my rocks. Yeah, right, Kim, you're talking to me. You're talking to Amy. Amy, you know, we know Kim better than he knows. Yeah, one of your rocks. But it should be one of your rocks. Kim, I'm going to you. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right. You're right. And it's one of the things that I'm working on because, procrastination is I'm really good at it. I could write a book, but I haven't. I'll do it maybe tomorrow. But, procrastination, what I've worked out is this, and through reading and everything else to overcome that, it's an emotional thing, it's and you can't, put it in a diary, or it can't be a tactic, it's an avoidance, of our fear, stress, anxiety, and so forth. So the 3 things that I sort of not have to do, but I've chosen to do is to manage my emotions. Number 1 is to forgive myself. Okay, from the past, because that keeps on creeping in. I should have, I haven't done it, and that sort of that holds you down. It's that emotion. So forgive, and then act. And only 3 minutes, like one little thing, and just say 3 minutes. That's all I got to do. 3 minutes. I think that's easy. The 3 minutes. I'll start that. And making that little, and then you just got to, you know, continue it, making the bad hard and the good easy. You know, and it's the same for my guitar practice. Okay, you know, put the guitar out in a place where I could see it, so make it easy for me to pick it up for 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, and that will then go on. And then you can then do it in spurts of, you know, 15 minutes, reaching out, getting a number. You know, that prospecting process that we need to do. Not need to do, but if you want to move forward, it's that one vital factor that we've got to do. Otherwise, the others, you know, you can be a great presenter, but if you've got nobody to talk to, it means nothing. So, yeah.
You know, it's really interesting. I want to go around the grounds because I love what Kim's talking about, the emotional stoppage. You're sabotaging yourself to do something. I've got a different philosophy. My wife always has a go at me at this, but it's my only way of getting out and about, and I'm just going to share it with you all. And you know, I got this philosophy from a book. It's not a Wayne philosophy. Everything that I've got is obviously learned. And it's a classic, and I want you to write it down. Do what you love and the money will follow. If you don't do what you love and put yourself in line with things that make you as an individual radiate and vibrate at a certain level, then the reality is you'll be stressed and you'll be in lack of action. So do what you love and the money will follow. So by way of example, I know that at any given time, on most days, at most times, if I want to go speak to people in an environment where I'm going to feel comfortable and I'm going to vibrate at a high level, and there's going to be some people there, I will go to a golf driving range. And the reality is, at a golf driving range, there are people doing an activity that I'll be participating in, and in an environment where I'm feeling relaxed and comfortable, and I'm going to be looking at these people, and my conversation literally goes like this every time I go down there. 11 o'clock during the day, how blessed are we that we can practice hitting some golf balls? What do you do? And the person's inevitably going to tell me what they do. Now, sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's night shift. Sometimes they're pilots. Sometimes they're doctors. Sometimes they're unemployed, you know, but they're going to tell me what they're going to do because, you know, why wouldn't they tell me what they're going to do? It's like I'm there hassling them. I'm complimenting the beautiful freedom that we've got, and we're out here with a smile on our face hitting golf balls. And they, guess what? As golfers, give me reciprocal rights. What do you do? And then the conversation starts. Now, for a woman, I tell you, if I was a woman, I'm telling you what I'd be doing. I'd be shopping. I'd be walking into those stores and just going behind the counters. I'd be going to Mecca, Fecca, Lecca, Wecca, and Sexyland. No, I wouldn't go to Sexyland. I would go somewhere else, and I'd be like going into the baby stores, or I'd be going into the hair, you know, the nail salons, and I'd be going to the perfume and the dress shops. Because inevitably, you know, you're gonna meet some other people, and you just need, here's what you need, and I want everyone to write this down, the conversation starter. How do you start the conversation? And the conversation for me always starts something like, not directed at the individual, not directed at me. It'll be exactly like what Kim said. I will walk up to someone in an environment like on the golf course, and I say, how good is life? ... that we can be hitting golf balls at 11 o'clock. Or how good is it that, you know, you know, that I'm seeing in the middle of the day? How good are things at the moment? And you're just going to radiate differently. Katie, you with me on this? Does this make sense? Easy to do. It's 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or like Kim says, moments of courage. But here's the trick. Put yourself at a vibrational level that you're attractive because you're genuine and enthusiastic about what you're doing. Make it a rock in your life to do what you love, and the money will follow. If you sit around thinking, I've got to do this and I've got to do that, here's my recommendation. Take action and just go do it. Go for a walk on the beach, and I promise you, you're going to pass people walking down the beach. I often walk down the beach with my wife or by myself. If I'm walking with my wife, virtually I say the same thing. If I'm walking by myself, I say the same thing. I say, how many president's team members are there out here? What are all these people doing walking on the beach at 10 o'clock just because the sun's out? How do these people, what are these, how can everyone must be a president's team member? What do these people do? And then find the lady with the pram, or find the guy with the dog, or find the person sitting there having a cup of coffee by themselves, and do what? Ready? Speak. Say something. But write this down. Find something to say. Blue skies. I promise you, if you walk around just saying blue sky, someone's going to talk to you. They'll probably put you in an island, but they'll blue skies. No. Do what you love and the money will follow. Kate, over to you again, my dear. What are you denying yourself from doing every single day that could be a rock that will allow you to speak to people?
It definitely would probably be mostly my mindset, I would say.
What could you do? What activity could you do that you would love, that would actually make you feel vibrant every single day, that could become a rock? Think about it. Don't answer it. Lee, what could you do every single day that could become a rock activity that could put you in line with some people where you're not with intention prospecting, but you're prospecting because you're doing something that you love? What could it be?
So in the day-to-day activities of whatever we're doing, I'm just generating contacts and I just write them down. And then when I go past them again, I just say hello. I'm actively working the list wherever I go. So when I had to get Amy some bread the other day, wow.
Groceries.
Yeah, we walked past Baker's Delight and her name's Courtney. I said, Courtney,
Yeah.
how are you? And I was standing at the, just walking at the back, and she's like, oh, I'm good. I said, hey, my wife needs to talk to you about her Fit Family project. I need to get your contact number so I can get her to call you. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she just wrote me her number and gave it to Amy. So that's the thing that I'm sort of doing down here at the moment every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's in and around what you're doing. So that's weaving Herbalife into your life. Let me change gears here for a minute. Give me an activity that Lee Smith would love to do every single day that would make you feel so jazzed that whoever's around you, you're going to just talk to them.
Well, I sort of am doing that. I go to the gym most days, pretty much every day, and I'm generating contacts there at the same time.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. In the ocean surfing, says Katie. So she reckons it's time to get the board out, my friend. Get the wax, get the board out, start talking to a few people while you're trying to catch a wave. Speak to a few walkers and a few little wetsuit men and women. Kim Broma, over to you, my friend. Give me an activity.
My activity is really I must be a girl. Is shopping. I like shopping. I like going in and having, especially clothes, men's clothes. And then I go in and I go, oh, yep, not yet. I'm gonna have to work on myself a little bit more before I get that. And coffee shops. I like just sitting in coffee shops, looking at people and surrounding myself in that environment.
Okay, how often do you do that?
Not often enough. Okay.
So here's the question: can we turn what you love into a rock?
Yeah.
So a little bit of a shift to say, I really enjoy doing that, and when I do it, I actually get in amongst people and I talk to people. But for some reason, I don't do that activity every day. Here's what I want for everyone. Put yourself into an activity that you know once you're in it, you're going to be prospecting. You're going to be actually talking to people. I know Daniel put down the theatre, enroll again, get yourself in amongst it, get yourself into that community. Gresh, what are you doing every single day?
Well, it's not every day, but it's a new thing, bachata.
Which is dance, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's getting you amongst people.
Mm.
Perfect. Karen? Let's be honest. If we're not doing anything, let's just be honest and say, I'm not doing anything. I'm just doing
Look, I would love to have massages every day, so I've just got to work out how can go. That's just being honest. I love having massages and I do it daily.
Okay, but you've got to put yourself in an activity that you can afford to do every single day. So what could it be?
Probably could afford that.
Well, go and have a massage every day. Maybe go get a group massage. I'm not sure. Do those things exist? So you can speak to
Maybe we just cancel this comment right now.
Okay. But guys, philosophically, you know where I'm going with this. Philosophically, I'm looking at our rocks. Let's look at some of the sands in our life that kind of like waste our time. Let's see if we can get some common denominators here. Kim, give me some sand. What fills your cup most days?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, that's a good sandy one. All right. Amy?
These are the things that just distract and like procrastination sort of stuff. Planning for me, because I do enjoy being structured. So I could sit there and just plan and plan and plan again and plan and do some more
plan on the plan.
Plan on the plan and write it a different way. And this is a good one. Anyway. But no,
and then
that's my biggest
the plan and then put the plan on the wall.
Lee will catch me out. What I'll do is I'll be like, I've just got to set up my day. It's like, well, you don't. You just need to go out and talk to that person, and that's your day. You know what I'm saying? So that could be my default, is to sit with my journal for too long. Like, even though all those things are good rituals, but I could spend too long doing those things and then never actually get. So that can be sand for me sometimes.
Yeah, and I think there's a nice quote. That half-baked plan in action is probably better than the one that's fully planned, never implemented. So at the end of the day, I'm hearing you, and I often sit with my journal and just do that priority list, and then I keep prioritizing the do anything.
It goes to, I envy some people that do have still, like obviously Levi has actually helped because it gives me less time. I think when I've had so much time in my calendar, it's easy to spread that out. But if I don't have much time and have I get more intensity emerges to get something done, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like white space in my calendar is a devil sometimes.
I tell you what's really interesting, and maybe she can talk and maybe she can't talk, but I've got the utmost respect for this girl. Renya, I mean, your day doesn't have a second free. Do you actually plan or you just do?
I just do, to be honest.
Yeah, so give us an idea, because I mean you've got 27 moving parts to your day every single day.
I actually just moved from my very screaming kids not long ago, and I was like, I hope Wayne doesn't ask me to speak now, otherwise he's gonna regret it. But yeah, for me, my intentions in my head is always doing, because in action I see results of my planting. And when I say I do is if I don't take an action, I plant seeds every single day, whether it's through social media, whether it's through family, whether it's through friends. Something actually just happened with me. I was on a cruise for my husband's 40th birthday, and I really want to share this, because if you're at a moment in your life where you're questioning what you're doing, or whether you're doing the right thing, or whether you are on the right path, or whether you're not doing anything at all, I would say this: ask for a sign and it will be honestly delivered to you like hand full. So I went on a cruise, but I went with an intention to prospect at the same time. So yes, I wanted to spend time with my family. So what I did, I took our flyers, the healthy living flyers that we did, and I took my business card. And I went, and apparently I was in a Byron Beach VIP club, which I didn't even know how I booked that. So this lady comes in, she's like, I'll be looking after you for the next 4 days. I'm like, fantastic. So I wore my badge everywhere I went. Like, yes, I'm spending time with the family, but my intention is to, see who needs me. So just 2 days before we leave, this lady, Anne, she's Filipino, and she comes in and, I'm like, come, Anne. I'm like, I took my lift off, I took my hydrate, I took my everything. So I gave her samples of everything that I had. I'm like, so how do you enjoy this? She's like, oh, we're on a boat for 9 months. Contract, we don't see families. I'm like, you do not get off the boat? She's like, no. I'm like, so when you get to land, you don't get to see the country? She's like, no, we're not allowed to. I'm like, how do you feel? She's like, she's like, I feel really sad. I'm like, what if I could give you an opportunity that can change your life? She's like, what? I said, what if I could give you an opportunity that could change this for you? Would you be open for it? She's like, how? I'm like, well, this is what I do. This is what I used to do. This is my flyer. This is my business card. I said, she's like, I said, I lost weight. She's like, I want to gain weight. I'm like, fantastic. Let's start to get you results. So anyway, spoke to Anne, got her the details, and said, I want to change my life. I want to change my life. She's like, I was praying for an opportunity. And she's like, I feel God put you in this room for me to come across you. Like, it gave me goosebumps, and I felt so emotional when she said that, because had I not had the courage to ask her what she's doing and how she's feeling, in my mind was to really help this lady, because she was so hardworking through day and night. And I'm like, I gave her my card. Guess what happened? She ended up signing as a distributor on the day we landed in Sydney, because they sent an SMS, text SMS. That's my first Filipino person that I have actually been manifesting, and it came to reality. And now she said, my mom's actually really good at this. My mom needs to lose weight, but she's also interested to build business. I'm like, let's do that. Slowly we're going to get Anne to put on weight, but we're also going to get her mom to lose weight. And also Anne's mom is in Philippines, so she wants to do these as well, because she loves doing businesses. She loves impacting people. But it all comes down to the question that I asked Anne, do you enjoy what you're doing? How do you feel about not seeing your family for 9 months? Like, that's a big thing. Like, we have the flexibility and the privilege. Like, I went on a cruise with my family that I paid for with my Herbalife money to surprise my husband, but my business was working. I was following up with my clients. I connected to the internet. I paid $120 to have internet for 4 days, because I did not want to, I did not want my clients to message me and not get in contact with me. But then at the same time, I wanted to be open to other opportunities that people are praying for us. People are praying for such an opportunity. The flexibility and the freedom that we have, that we take for granted on a daily basis, people are praying for. So when you go out there, just go with an open mind, go with an open heart to help. Even if you get rejected. There was another guy that was serving us pizzas. I just took my flyer, healthy living flyer. I'm like, just get this. I don't know what he's going to do with it. But it could be one day that he's sitting miserable in that boat for 9 months, not being able to breathe, and say, what, let me just see what this lady gave me. So yeah, just don't just plan and then sit on it. Just take action. And then when you take that action, start planning how you're going to, like, for me now, I'm going to start working with Anne. I'm going to start putting on the product, getting some amazing results, because she said to me, she's got a goal. Always listen to what people tell you, because there are stories in what they tell you. She said, I want to go back in July to my family, because everyone says I'm always skinny. I want to put on weight by the time I go in July. So my goal for Anne is to help her reach her goal by putting at least 2-3 kilos. So when she goes home, it is a visible change that her family will see and say, oh my God, Anne, you've put on weight. What did you do? Because Anne eats 4-5 times a day, but she's still struggling to put on weight. So just be open and take action, and just do, and just go with an open heart. People are praying for this. People are praying for this opportunity. And if you're in doubt whether you are on the right path, ask for a sign. And honestly, I can say it will be delivered to you, because this to me was something that needed to happen, because I was going through, the waves of the ocean, and that just set the concrete. And on the other hand, my husband started talking, and I'm like, he can see me so passionate about what I'm doing. He's like, to Anne, Renia can really help you. And he's like, can change your life. And I said, one day you can be on stage. And Anne said to me, my dream is to be on stage and speak to people. Sorry, Wayne, you asked me to speak and I don't shut up.
I love it. I love it. And, there's so many great messages and so much gold, not only in your attitude, but, your passion. But I love, this is what I got out of it. Am I in planning mode or am I in action mode? How do I make the shift just to get into action? Okay. How do I just turn everything that I'm thinking about, everything that I'm putting in my mind, sometimes you've just got to stop. I hate to say this. Different part of the philosophy. Sharpen your axe. Sharpen your axe. We always talk about sharpening your axe. Be sharp, be sharp. But there's another philosophy that says keep sharpening your axe and it could become blunt. Some point, once you sharpen your axe, you got to start cutting. You can't just sharpen. I'm sharpening my axe. What are you doing? Well, I'm sharpening my axe. I'm getting ready to cut down a tree. Well, I'm sharpening my axe. Well, when the hell are you going to start cutting the tree? No, hang on a minute. I'm just sharpening my axe. Well, yeah, okay. You've actually been sharpening for so long. It's time to cut. So here's a philosophy for us all for the next week. You ready? Am I planning or am I in action? Am I in action mode? Meaning, I can't sit still. I've got to type, I've got to talk, I've got to deliver, I've got to prospect, I've got to be doing. Doing solves your problem. Okay? Thinking may be the beginning of your suffering. Thinking may be the beginning of your suffering. Doing is the stuff that actually makes a difference. Does that make sense? Good. Kim, thoughts?
Yes, one thing that you're very good at, and I appreciate your help, and maybe, you can, for everybody else, find a buddy to do some things with. Wayne and I have got a couple of little prospecting sort of projects that we do together. I'm the thinking part. I'm the one that wants to, no, it's not right yet. We've got to do this. Wayne's listen, do it now. Let's go now. Jump on Zoom. Let's go now. And, and if he can't do it now, he delegates it. Okay, listen, I've got to go. Can you do this? So it's all of a sudden delegated, or it's binned, throw it away. So it's, do it now, delegate it, or throw it in the bin. So, and maybe find a buddy that you can do some little, prospecting projects. I know that, Aaron and Daniel, got together and did some things together that then helped the other person to get, I get it now, I can do that, So it's another little thing that we can all do to help us go through that process.
Yeah, and I think if you're doing the accountability stuff, I mean, I have the 10-second whinge with Kim. Every call starts the same. And then we go, right, now, bang, away we go. So you got to get the whinging out of the way. You can't have 90% whinging, complaining, condemning, criticizing, and then 10% action. Just get the whinging out of the way for the first 10 seconds. I mean, no matter what time I start the call with Kim every morning, Kim, it starts the same way. How does it start?
It also starts, I got an idea, and I go, oh no.
Yeah, got an idea. Write it down. But I think, the lesson from this morning's call as we wrap up the hour is this. Look at our rocks. Let's look at our implementation. Let's look at not so much paying attention to our intentions, pay attention to our actions. Okay, and what are we actioning right now that is moving me forward? And sometimes, let's be honest, maybe we've got to look at our rocks and say, let's start replacing some of my key rocks and with new rocks, and turn some of the rocks into pebbles, because the pebbles are the things that you're just doing anyhow. They're just filling in, they're filling in the day. They're filling in the day. We've all got pebbles. I mean, for me, reading, although it's a priority, I know in my heart it's a pebble, because my priority should be, if I'm seriously interested in building my business, it's got to be the 3, 5, 10. That's all I'm thinking. 3, 5, 10, 3, 5, 10, 3, 5, 10. 3 new people, 5 new people, or 10 new people. That's what I got to do. And, sometimes, I come home from golf and my wife says to me, well, how'd you go? And I said, my 5-iron was fantastic today. I got a left to right, got what I'm thinking. And she said, did you actually speak to anyone? I said, well, Yeah, I did. I didn't get a name and number, but you know what I'm saying? You just got to pay attention to what you're doing when you're actually doing it. Because you actually, like Renya, you can hear the enthusiasm in Renya's voice, feels so much better when you've given birth to that new prospect. The labor of pain is over. You've done the work, you've given birth, and who knows what the possibilities are. Kim, wrap it up and tell us what's happening, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for this morning. We've got some great notes here. And don't just take the notes, let's put it into practice. Do some of those things that we talked about. And of course, you can't finish a meeting unless you've got the promotion for the next meeting. And that's, of course, Monday night. Monday night is our celebration night. It's our kickoff for the month. We only have this call once on a Monday night. Roger runs it. So, if you've got let him know what volume you have. Let any of your people, what their volumes are, so that we can celebrate them. In that call, we celebrate the brand new people, the people that just got registered, the people that are moving through the marketing plan. People like Renya that just keeps on doing 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Unbelievable. So you just got to, and that's a great call to invite people on to come and have a look, because most people out in business even in normal work life, don't get appreciated, don't get recognized. So it's a recognition call, goes for about 30 minutes. Great call, gives people a little bit of an understanding of who we are and what we do. And that's from the past month. And of course, Tuesday, don't leave any stone unturned. Go out there. I'm not into driving ranges, but I will get out there, get the numbers, and invite like crazy. Tuesday night is our who we are and what we do call, followed by, is it the first Tuesday of the month? Are we going to do it's going to be a masterclass in our products. So we're going to be reaching out to people's homes. Maybe Karen can show us how she makes those fantastic pancakes again, or whatever it takes, and get as many people on that call as possible. And we'll see you on Tuesday.
And Kim, I think Thursday we're having a break.
Yes, Thursday we're having a break. There is no Supervisor Academy because, we're flying. I'm flying. I know Wayne's flying. We're all flying to Bangkok for extravaganza. So this is going to be an exciting week. You're going to make sure that if you're not going, that you watch Healthy Living International, because there's going to be lots of photos and sharing that's going to go across there, and or on your normal social media. So it's one of those things that you should be doing this week if you're going. Hey, look, I'm off to Bangkok. I'm going there to spend time with 25,000 people from the Asia Pacific region, going there to listen. When I get back, I want to catch up. We should have a coffee. Let me tell you what happened. Set it up.
I think Levi's flying business class with Lethal. I'm not sure.
You can take him with you if you want.
They feed babies in bottles these days on planes. I've seen that happen before. You'll be fine, Lee.
I tried to give me a bottle the other day, didn't like it.
Guys, thank you for that. Thanks, Kim, for recording this. Let's play it to our family and friends within our community.